there's like 37 cameras total.
That they admitted.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the gym. You walk out, there's a camera here looking at you. So like, you turn around and there's a camera looking at you that way. And it freaks you out. Doesn't that creep you out? No, dude, they're worthless.
It's just made to put fear in the lives of teenage kids.
One of the great concerns of any freedom-loving citizen should be the fact that it appears right now that we're raising up what I would call the Orwellian generation. Children in schools are facing virtually a police state environment. To give you an example, in August 2010 at Central High School in Springfield, Missouri, the principal of the school announced over the loudspeaker system to the entire school that a lockdown was in process and students were to evacuate their rooms. When that happened, the police swept in with drug-sniffing dogs, and of course these are policemen armed with guns and weapons, and they swept through the rooms with the dogs. And when the students went back into their rooms, they found out that their book packs had been rifled through and all their other belongings. Two of the parents, Doug and Melanie Burleson, were quite upset. So they asked the school what's up here, and that they felt that their Fourth Amendment rights of their child had been violated, and privacy rights. And the principal was basically indignant and replied that this was a standard lockdown drill. So what we're seeing, and this is not the only place this is happening across the country. We've seen other instances where dogs sweep into schools on some kind of routine basis, or maybe someone in the school might have some kind of drug. But these days, folks, a drug can be Midol, it can be Alka-Seltzer, or whatever the school targets. So what I fear is, and these schools, kids are getting suspended for these kind of trivial things. A case that I was personally involved in, honor student passed her nail clippers across the aisle to a girl who had asked for them. The teacher saw it. There's that little small knife, well, if you want to call it a knife, that you pick the dirt from under your fingernails or whatever and file. She was thrown out of school for 1 year and 3 months for having a weapon on campus. So it's that crazy. I fear, as I've said, we're raising up an Orwellian generation. One that's used to metal detectors in schools, cops roaming the hallways, lockdown drills, drug-sniffing dogs. When I grew up as a child, that wasn't normal. When I first started seeing the drug-sniffing dogs and police and hallways and metal detectors, I recoiled from that and said, well, maybe that's not a good idea unless you can really show that it's necessary. You know, and you know, it's more common to get struck by lightning than anyone gets hurt in a public school these days. So it's routinely a safe environment. So what have we done is the question. What we've done is normalize a hyperactive environment in the schools where children are being taught as they grow older that we live in a police state. So this is the Orwellian generation. And what I'm encouraging parents to do is get involved. Like the Burlesons in the Central High School case in Springfield, Missouri, they fought back. They contacted the Rutherford Institute and a lawsuit was filed. You have to stand up and fight for your rights. At stake is not only the constitutional rights of your children, but the constitutional rights of a whole entire generation of people coming up. Hopefully, if we resist these things, if we become more aware, if we teach our children their rights, which they don't learn very well in schools, they'll stand up. We can start taking some of the walls that we've built that are destroying our freedoms.